Welcome to the Snobs podcast.
Well, that was supposed to work. I was supposed to take off that one graphic, but welcome to Snobs podcast, everybody. It's horror conversations time. We were supposed to have 3. It's all over the place today. That's what's going on. Welcome to, no, she's muted. Whatever. I'm going. I'm Mick Manhattan, your one host. We have the demon galore, the chief demon. Stephanie is here. She runs everything. Thank you for joining, Steph. And
Absolutely.
Destiny is right down there. She is our wonderful, handles everything else demon and is taking care of business. I don't know if we can hear her yet.
Yeah.
There we are.
My computer had to restart twice to get the camera to work, and then I was stuck in the little backstage thing. It was in a weird loop.
It's Thursday. This happens to me on Thursdays all the time. I've recorded 4 times today, and it's happened to me every time. So welcome to Horror Conversations. This is brought to you by Carolina Fear Fest, where we are going to be recapping CFF 2023. We're going to be talking about next year's Carolina Fear Fest and some more about horror movies. So join in the comments. Let's have some fun. How are you ladies doing tonight?
Hanging in there, getting ready for next year.
It's like the day after. It's like you get 1 day of rest, right? And then that's it. Like you got to get right back running into it.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
for me, it was weeks of hibernation, and now we're here.
Yeah. Prepping for it and getting ready. So before we start going towards 2024, let's talk about 2023. It was such an amazing time. The guests were fun. And I'm talking about everyone, not just the celebrity guests, but like everybody who attended was just a lot of fun hanging out with them, getting to know them and meet them. What's some big takeaways from you this year that it seemed like so much bigger this year, right?
The attendance was definitely up over 22, and it's gone up little bits each year, except for 21 and 22 were a little weird post-COVID. Things have been a little flat, and then I don't think it was quite what we expected this year. I think the economy is playing a role to a certain degree. We heard lots of informal feedback of people that were just like happy to be there for the environment, but they weren't quite running around spending as much as they normally would because they just are like seeing all the cool stuff, but they couldn't afford to to like run through the vendor area quite as hard.
It was a wonderful setup. I got to run around and see all the vendors, and it was a really good time. They had some beautiful stuff. We got some cool stuff to hang up and put around. So I love the art, so I'm all about it. And you guys had some really cool artwork. I love that Frankenstein you had.
Yes. So that was by Wes Flannery. Each year we do a different artist for our official art for the year, and that was Wes, and he was it just amazing. We wanted to go a little old school, like throwback to the Universal horror movies and the original monsters, and he always does something amazing. So
nice. Yeah, and the panels were a lot of fun this year too. I got to host a few myself, and thank you for that. And everybody was just really engaging and really a lot of fun. Like it didn't even feel like I had to bring much to it. Like they just wanted to talk to everybody and get into it. So when the celebrities are like that, it just livens everything up.
Yeah, we had definitely some good ones. I know, like Dana and Ray really played to the camera quite a bit with people. There were some amazing shots that came out of those folks. Robert Mukes is just like a giant lovable teddy bear, man. He was always on and just had such a ball meeting with everybody. He really had a good time.
Oh, I had so much fun in his panel. He just had so many great stories about what he's talking about. Not just talking about the 20th anniversary of House of a Thousand Corpses, but like all his movies that he's got coming out and like what he's done since then, and just him getting into R and like how it's never really even been much of his thing, but since he's been acting in it, it's just he's adopted it so much and he loves the community. Des, how about you? What are some things you're taking away from this year, that you really enjoyed?
Well, we're always so busy running around, we don't get a chance to actually like do some of the things we wanted to do. So I really wanted to play like a game in the gaming area, and there were a couple of the demonology and supernatural, the sigils. I can't remember exactly what we titled it, but the one about sigils and the supernatural. I really wanted to see that panel, and I don't know if somebody recorded it. I should probably message Kyle or Evelyn and ask. But it seemed like their panels were really well attended, and they had a good time and taught people a lot of interesting facts about the supernatural in the real world.
Nice.
Bummed I missed it, but
What was some feedback you got from guests that have come out?
like celebrity guests or like attendees?
Well, let's go with attendees first. See what some of the people are saying about it. I've heard all good things from everybody.
Yeah, for sure. We've gotten a lot of comments on social that are really nice to hear. I don't remember anything in particular, but
The Saturday party, for the ones that went to that went over very well, because it's
That was
really
so fun.
our first time getting to do that properly. And we had so much fun with that. And
why are you laughing?
Because it went over well for everyone except for one guy.
Is that you?
It's one sweaty mess of a human being. Some sickness took over some idiot, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun. Now, of course, that was me, but I got to tell you, through that, it was still fun to play that game. It was still fun to be on the mic and interact with everybody.
Because of you, Steph lost her voice later than last year, but she still lost her voice, and she wasn't
Yeah.
supposed to this year. We had a plan.
I did okay. I did far better than before.
We got to 10 rounds, and I'm like, I'm gonna die. I need to go home. But it was a lot of fun. I love that game. So just so everybody, so you know, so make sure you buy tickets for next year, because these games are a lot of fun. We did Let's Make a Deal with the Devil. Great prizes. First of all, these are just some wonderful prizes, and I didn't know all of them coming out. Like, I was watching Destiny pull them out of the boxes and giving them those flesh boxes that you got. Let's talk about those for a sec, because those were amazing. So there were these. They look like regular cardboard boxes, but made of flesh. Who made these? And it's just brilliant. It just looked fantastic.
I can put up a picture if you want.
Yeah, I love it.
Those were made by Mitchell Fink, and he's amazing. Does a lot of set work and set design stuff, kind of across North Carolina. He's actually starting up his own company to start taking on more projects as well. And if
Twisted Whiskers.
Sorry?
Twisted Whisker special effects.
So he's if for everybody that was at the convention, we have our new set backdrop that we had the canvas from Wes in the archway of, and it said Carolina Fear Fest. It's over by the merch station. It's a great little selfie booth backdrop, and he actually made that for us as well. So and then we sort of as an aside, talking about that backdrop, we said, like, we wanted people to like pick a box and have to reach in and get their prize out, but then we realized all the prizes are kind of different sizes, and it wasn't going to be really easy to do. So we ended up just kind of having them out there for effect. But we sort of, as an aside, we're just like, Mitch, I want skin boxes. Like, I want to be able to go to you, want box number 1, box number 2, and then we wanted to be able to reuse them and do different things. So I know for this year's games, we told everybody they had to pick their poison, and then we labeled each of the boxes with the different poisons. And then, so in a future year, we'll still use our skin boxes, but we'll just call them something else depending on what we're doing. So.
Oh, you have to. Those are too good, and the feel of them, the texture of everything was great. Let me ask you. So after I was done hosting, did anybody take the certificates, or did they all just go for the prizes?
I think everybody went for prizes.
I don't blame them, because even
I don't blame them either.
We're just like, you walked away and you're like, I still feel fulfilled. It was fun to play.
Yeah. Well, we wanted it to have that sort of let's make a deal feel, and that the way that game was always played, go out in the audience and go, I have this, or you can take your chances. And so we wanted people to kind of just have a little fun with it, and then play stupid games and win fun prizes was, the ultimate goal. And we have a couple of other ideas and nights in mind of things that we want to do. So we won't spoil it since we don't have all those ideas completely fleshed out yet, but it won't be the same party every single year. And the goal we always have is to do things a little bit different. So we didn't want to just do like karaoke and drinking. I mean, there's some fun in that, just music and hanging out with your fellow horror fans. But, we wanted to just have a little bit of different kind of fun too. So
When you are ready, I do have an idea for part of whatever year you want to do it, but I have what I think would be a really fun idea. And if you'll have me host again, where I'm not eating anything except crackers the entire weekend, I'm going to put together a really cool costume for it. And I think you guys will really enjoy it. But I'm going to tell you off. I didn't want to tell you beforehand because I'm going to wait for them to calm down, get over 2023 before I start throwing things out that way.
I liked your
yeah, thank
weird
you for sure.
90s devil game show host vibes. That was fun.
Oh, thank you. I was hoping the VJ thing went over with, and I tried to pull my best Jersey accent. Like, it was like at that point, I was like, I could have done better. I was like, I could have done better, but I thought everybody had a good time and it was fun, and I wish I could have kept going because like I was really enjoying watching everybody play these games. They were so into it.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think we have some of our ideas are a little bit more
Adult.
less game show, leaning, where you have just a couple of contestants. I mean, there's fun in watching other people make fools of themselves too, but if we can do things that are more interactive for everybody too, that's also a good idea. So that'll be part of the plan going forward too.
Nice, yeah.
I do have a couple pictures from the party.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I present, will it do both screens or just one screen? Like if I do share screen?
You should just be able to share one screen at a time. But you could share. It has slides, or if you want to do. Oh yeah, see.
I got it.
There you go.
So those are the skin boxes, and Mick's amazing outfit.
I still am keeping that shirt too. I like that shirt.
It's a good shirt. It looks good on you. Okay. This one is. Oh, it's gone. Oh, it only does one tab at a time. Okay, I see.
Yeah, no, it's a pain in the butt.
All right, so window, Chrome, share. So then it doesn't unshare, so I can like click through them. Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is Derek in the middle, and those are a couple of our attendees, but Derek. So, skin boxes again. And this one's my favorite. I love the expression on your face, and I am just like sneaking in the background. I think that's hilarious. But these were our birthday guests.
Yes.
We sang to them. Leap and Stephanie, and I did not catch the guy's name. I know what you nicknamed
little bastard Michael. I can't remember either.
I'm
pretty sure there's a video of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw the video running around.
Keep in mind, everybody, I'm 6'8". Mind you, I've lost a lot of weight now. I've lost 75 pounds, but I'm almost like close to 500. And this guy made me feel like I was tiny. He was like a solid big dude, and I was like,
big dude.
I was like, I'm not gonna mess with him.
All right, so those are just some party photos.
Those are great. No,
that party venue was it really had a lot of serial killer vibes, so it sort of drove the theme a little bit, because we just really needed to kind of. Some of the other venues we looked at were definitely leaning a different way. We walked in there and we just both were like, okay, Dexter, like we're going full on, everything's covered in blood. And so we had a lot of fun, and we enjoyed it enough that I really want to find ways to keep doing that every year.
Yeah. Oh my God. You had to
And we
pull
also-
it.
Sorry. I just clicking through Facebook. Sorry.
She
Forgot I
pulled
was
up a
still
picture of me
sharing
with
to you.
Twisty Troy, who, by the way, now I should have held that snake. I realize now I should have held the snake because I've cured at least one fear I've had, and that's contortionist. Because Troy has cured it for me. He's a wonderful human being. I still don't want to be chased by him while he's a spider. A little too much, but
The video of him doing that to Barbara Crampton in the celeb area is just hilarious to me. I've watched it like 300 times.
I didn't realize they were in Channel Zero together. And when he was talking about it in the panel, I didn't realize they knew each other. So when he ran up to her, she was like so like happy to see him because they're friendly with each other. So it was
When I asked her if I could, I'm like, hey, is it all right if Troy does a little, crazy walking and runs up to you? She's like, oh yeah, I know him. I love him. He's a friend. And he still scared the crap out of her. Like he still surprised her enough that she it's a good video.
Heather says, thank you for letting us add a hearse in the show. I hope we can attend again. It's so much fun. And the snake looked awesome on my hearse.
I didn't see that. I didn't see the snake on the hearse.
I missed an opportunity
In the
this
hearse?
year. And I hope it comes back again. I missed a chance to see Christine. I went because I was going to go see it Friday night and I didn't get a chance to. And then all weekend long, I was racing around and never got a chance to go see Christine. But I've seen so many awesome pictures with everybody.
Including one with Troy. That was where he's under the car and upside down and crazy.
Oh my God, it was so cool. Yeah, there's just there's so much.
I can't find that, by the way.
What did you guys think of? So being such huge Supernatural fans, what did you think about Thor, the baby replica?
It's a bit of a sore subject because, again, it's one of those cool things we would have loved to have actually done at the show that we don't get to enjoy. But yeah, so my teenager, however, just got driver permit, and when they unloaded on Sunday night, the kid got to drive Thor around in the parking lot out there, and apparently is one of 3 people they've ever allowed to drive it other than themselves. So
that's a great car too.
Yeah,
so.
The kid got the 1 in a million, great experience. I didn't even see baby leave. You know what I mean? Much less get to. I think I walked by it a couple times. That's about all I got done.
I did see her, and it beautiful. She's beautiful.
I talked to them a little bit and heard about some of the details, but that was pretty much it. I didn't get a chance to get a picture.
Yeah, no. I wish we could. I wish I could have gotten over. I saw the Jeepers Creepers. This is the second year I saw the Jeepers Creepers truck. Always creepy, but I love it. I mean, there's just always I love that you guys do that because not enough. You don't see that enough. Some conventions do, they'll have the Batmobile out or things like that, but it's always kind of for a few minutes or something like that, and then it goes away real fast. You have them out all weekend displayed, and you can take pictures. It's fascinating to have the Hell on Wheels section that you guys have. I really enjoy that, to celebrate and to know how many cars in the horror lore or in horror movies are available.
Well, and we try not to do the cookie cutter show and repeat the same things year after year. So Christine was there our first year and came back again. Jeepers Creepers, he's local, so he's been out pretty much every year. But we don't do the full Hell on Wheels corner every single year. But it would be interesting to know if anybody has any ideas on other cool horror movie vehicles that they would like us to try and source and try and bring in, because if anybody's got any great ideas, send them our way and we'll see what we can do.
Well, what do you ladies? I'm trying to think of some vehicles from movies that would be kind of cool to see. I mean, the Janet, the Janet Leigh car from Psycho would be cool. Was it the Plymouth or whatever it was?
Belvedere, right?
Oh, was it Belvedere?
Was it? Maybe it wasn't. No, maybe Christine's a Belvedere. Damn. I know I've typed that name recently relating to.
No, I think Christine's the Plymouth. You might be right. It might be a Belvedere. Or something, stuff like that. That would be kind of cool to see a car like that. Something old, something classic, like a Christine, that stands out, that's different. But yeah, in terms of cars, like, you know, I think it would be more stuff you see in like the 80s, like what's, you know, some of the vans, like the van from prom night that had like the mural on the side, that weird mural on the side or something. That'd be kind of cool. Oh, the
Fun.
death proof car. Somebody says the Charger Kurt Russell drove,
That's a thought.
and no idea what you could put in truck from Joyride. Yeah, I don't know if we're getting an 18-wheeler in there. Let's just bring Optimus Prime in. There you go. It'll be fine.
I don't know if that's horror movie enough.
Okay, Megatron. He's the bad guy. Scary.
Oh yeah, that changes everything.
No, so it was a good time all around. I can't believe there was a snake there. Still scares me. That's a freaking thing. I had nightmares, and of course it was like 20 feet away from me, and I just had to keep staring at it, like, because if it got away, I knew it was coming for me.
I'm pretty sure you'd know if the snake escaped. I think the guy would be like a little upset if his snake went missing.
It would have caught me first. He wouldn't even known. It would have been swallowed whole. It would have been your fault, Destiny, the whole time.
I take the blame.
No, that snake was very cool. And I will say, like, if it's far away, I'm fine with it. And it's big. It was a big snake, so like I'm okay with big snakes, because big snakes are usually like, I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna hang out here. The little ones are the ones that will try and get all over the place real fast. What was the opener this year? I know you did carry the first year. I want you guys to tell us what was the opener this year and how to go over.
So the variant who they do the car cosplay contest, they had a couple of cosplayers as their characters, Ray and Dana's characters from Ash versus Evil Dead, impersonating them at their booth. And then an Ash cosplayer came in and slayed the imposters. And there's a picture and a video. There's definitely a video on the variants page. I think we haven't reposted it yet, but with the tags for each of the cosplayers in it. And I just happened to catch it at the last second. So of course my video is from a terrible perspective. But Dana and Ray had a really fun time doing it, and they high-fived the cosplayers, and they had a good time.
Our original plan was to do something outside and involving another bucket full of blood and leaning on the sort of running gag in Ash versus Evil Dead that they're always covered in blood. And that was the original plan, but of course it was kind of rainy and cold, so we squashed that and decided instead we would just play at their table. So they set it up that way instead. So just a little fun thing that we could do. We need to bring back. We need to try and bring back what we did. It's very difficult to do, but that very first year, we put my son in makeup as Death, and we had him at the hotel, and we filmed him greeting all of the celebrities. And so we had a hearse out there, and some of the celebrities he dragged kicking and screaming into the back of the hearse, and
some of them were like,
he was interacting. It was very funny, the whole thing. And
it was.
Like he was working at the hotel desk, just sitting there reading the paper, waiting in the lobby for the celebs to show up.
It's so campy and silly.
Leanna Quigley beat the shit out of him. It was funny. It was a lot of fun. It was just a fun little thing for us to play, later on after the show.
I'll tell you what, if you want, we can relive the scene from Evil Dead when the pipe breaks and the blood just like flows out unendingly at Ash's face, and I will do it. You just get like a mini swimming pool or something. I'll stand in it and just have somebody just pumping blood into my face, and that could be your opener. I'm sure enough people will laugh. And I'll have my hair long by then. Did you say you will or you won't?
I will. I'll laugh.
Oh, I have no doubt. If you said you won't, I didn't believe you. So going into with 2023, we had the weekend. It was, I think, so much fun. Everybody seemed to have like such a great time. Like, just still, like, we're still talking about it over on our Discord channel, over on our on the Snobs Discord, and what else for you guys, like walking away from it after a weekend like that? Do you guys like, what pumps you up for 2024? Like that you see from maybe like out of the comments, or do you get messages from everybody? Like what's some fun things that you hear that really get you pumped up for 2024?
We have more time to plan it.
As far as comments from people, it's just we can't wait. Like it's just the best. And
Nice.
The feedback that we get from people that go to a lot of conventions is always good, because they've been nothing but positive, saying that of all the ones that they go to, ours is just one of their favorites, and they just really enjoy it. And I enjoy it. So enjoy hearing that from people, because at least we know we're doing something right,
Love it.
But yeah, this is like Kathy said, this upcoming year will be our fifth one. We're just not counting the year that wasn't. And so this will be our 5-year anniversary. And we're really excited about it. I think we're going to try and pull out some really fun things for that.
Well, let's talk about some dream scenarios. I don't want to give anything away that maybe you guys are planning on that you have set, because you want to keep surprises and stuff like that. But what are some reach for the stars sort of things, guests, or maybe other stuff that you want to try that you think would be cool? Like what are some cool guests that maybe you'd want to go for next year?
It's kind of a tough one, because the ones that are actually achievable, we're kind of trying to talk to already. So I don't want to spoil anything, or on the other hand, get anybody's hopes up for ones that we end up not being able to pull in. So, I feel like we're growing a lot, and we're trying to kind of grow some of those celebrities as well. Bringing in out of franchises we haven't touched on yet, or just people that certainly that we haven't had. We don't like to repeat guests. So there's so many good ones out there. There's just no reason at this point to be bringing in the same people over and over again. So, we try to mix it up each year.
Nice.
So yeah, we've got some fun ones that we're talking to. I think people are going to be excited.
See, I don't know these yet. Because you're talking to them. I'm not talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the comments on our recent post on Facebook and Instagram of other people's dream guests.
Well, Radar's talking about the Terrifier crew. That could be fun. I don't know if I'd want to listen. I don't know if I could deal with snakes, being sick, and Art the Clown rolling around. My heart can handle so much. All right, everybody. And maybe possibly getting splashed in the face with tons of gallons of blood. I can't handle all of that. So we might have to leave Art alone. What do you got here? So what is the comments here? What's everybody saying?
John Carpenter, Matthew Lillard, Skeet Ulrich. I don't actually know this. MST. What is that short or something?
MST3K.
Mystery Science Theater.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Tony Ty.
Well, what's funny? If you could get Lillard, and I'll talk to you too about his stuff. The first thing he ever directed, I helped produce it. I helped get the equipment for and produce for it.
Halloween Town.
I was the videographer on a show that he hosted. He probably does not remember me. That was 15 years ago, but it would be funny to reach out to him and be like, hey.
We do have some issues with a lot of the screencasts. There's some exclusivity that we're having trouble working around to try and bring them in. But they're definitely on the table if we can make it work. We would love to have them as well. But
we don't need the screencast. I'm talking about the Wing Commander cast. Who just happens to be in Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. This would be of course a lot of fun. I mean, Joe Bob Briggs, that'd be fun.
Stephen King and John Carpenter. Our show is not large enough. Stephen King is not getting him out anyway. John Carpenter does do conventions. Unfortunately, it has to be a much larger convention to be able to bring him in. But we are.
Oh goodness.
We're doing what we can to bring in. A lot of the ones on that list that people commented are ones that I am already actively talking to. So, hopefully if we're not able to bring them in this year, they're on that short list for hopefully very soon, one of the upcoming shows.
Yeah, keep in mind, people, years to come. We got to keep people coming in the 6th year, 7th year, and all the way on.
Yeah.
So we got to keep you coming back too. So, I am definitely excited to see who else may be coming and being a part of it. Because the guests for me are a lot of fun to see them interact with everybody, and just to see everybody's faces, especially the kids. Like, I saw a bunch of kids running around and they met Ray Santiago and Dana DiLorenzo, and I'm like, you watched that show?
Yeah.
I'm like, you're 9.
Where are your parents?
I'm like, I'm glad for you, but like at the same time, like, wow, that's a lot. My kid's 11, and I don't know if I'm going to let him watch it right now.
That's worse.
But I got to tell you, like, everybody just seemed to have a really fun time. And to sit there and when I did the panel with Dee Wallace and Barbara Crampton, man, they take that over and they have such great conversations. And Barbara Crampton talk about even just her producing now and what she's getting into. It's fascinating. Like, just that side of the horror behind the camera and what they're doing is it's great. And it's so much insight, especially with so many guests that are so inspired and wanting to make their own films and things like that. So it's very cool to come out and check those things out. Yeah,
like Destiny had said, we added, we went kind of down and added a track on the panel stuff. We like to mix it up, so there's always the celeb guests, but we also have panels for, so you want to be a screenwriter or you want to get into writing, just sort of all different areas of interest within horror. And I know this last year we actually added a lot more sort of real life paranormal and demonology, and they seem to be very well attended. Like, people definitely have an interest in that. It's a fun subject.
Yeah.
Even if it's not, I think we didn't do the how to do the paranormal investigating very much. I think we did one with that where that was a component to it, but
I think it was like real stories from the hunt.
Yeah, so that was because they've all gone out on go. So I wanted to hear their real life, so this happened to me, not just the true story of this happened, but what actually happened to them when they were investigating a location. Because if you sat down with somebody who does paranormal investigating, what is your conversation? The first question you're going to ask them is not what kind of equipment they use to ghost hunt. You're going to ask them, like, what's the scariest shit you saw when you were out doing a thing? And that's the fun side of listening to them talk about the experience of doing that paranormal stuff. But that was fun. And I think it went over well enough that we'll probably kind of hang on to that. I know
Good.
Kyle and Ellen, both, they have a lot of different programming that they take around the convention. So they're kind of at the ready. They have other topics. So
nice.
We'll be able to mine a little bit more out of them and have some fun. So that'll be.
You make it sound so violent. We're just hitting them with pickaxes. Like, come up with new stuff. No. I really want to find out how to make an EMF reader. So like maybe a workshop where you can like build your own EMF like little device. That would be super fun. Also, I think we should have a demon summoning ritual with Kyle just for fun. Just see what happens.
That's what we'll do with that big open space near the stage. We'll make a giant Ouija board. And somebody down on like a dolly with wheels, and we'll summon demons, and it'll be an interactive thing. Like, you can pay to go on the ride.
I instantly regret that.
I'll spin them around a few times, and it'll be good. Um,
Just like hold on to their feet and they're like pointing like a planchette. Like
It's a giant like slip and slide a Ouija board, and I'm greased up, and it's just like I immediately regret this. I don't know what's
why
gonna
do you
happen
why do you always put yourself in the situation? Like it's not just anybody, it's Nick's
because
gonna do it.
listen, you
Let's
hired
grease him up.
a fool. You're gonna get a fool. Like who else is gonna do it?
Oh boy. Oh wait, I get it. Embrace absurdity. I get it.
Listen, every time we come down there, something's got to happen. Either I'm getting sick, I'm running somebody over with my car. Something's going to happen. There's going to be a story you're walking away with when we're there. But no, it's always a good time. This is one of my, not one of my, this is my favorite convention to go to because you guys have to have the best setup, and it just walking around and talking to everybody. It's very neighborly. It's very inviting. You don't always feel like that. Sometimes it just feels, and I'm not saying that this is all conventions because I do love other conventions and such, but like sometimes, you walk it through and it feels like you're in like a market somewhere and like everybody's just trying to sell to you, and it's just like, buy from me. And it's like, all right, leave me alone. I got to go. Not here. Like, it just seems like everybody's just very inviting and friendly, and like we're all talking and having a good time and like hanging out, and it seems like just a fun horror filled weekend. And you guys do that, and it comes with great planning and put together, and yeah, I absolutely have a fantastic time. So thank you for that.
Yeah, we're always looking to add some new and fun things. I mean, it feels like not everybody realizes it yet, but we're getting there where they realize it's really not a day trip kind of a con. I mean, we've got enough things going on spread over those 3 days that, I mean, to take advantage of them and do all of the things, you really need the weekend pass because we've got things happening on Friday night that don't happen the rest of the weekend, and the panels are all spread out, and we don't repeat them, especially the ones with the celebrities. They don't want to do the same panel twice, and I can usually only get them to do one thing. And so if there's somebody you're really looking to meet, if you only come on Saturday, their great panel might be Sunday afternoon. So
or a special photo op might be at a specific time on another day.
Yeah, and we try and balance it as much as we can, but it's really tough, and we're trying to add all these fun little things to do and ways to use up your time. But like you said, just the general wandering around the convention, just making multiple passes through, you're going to keep seeing a vendor you missed the first time, some great art piece that is hanging that you didn't catch the last time through. The haunt characters that are with the haunts that are there are always roaming around, so you might miss them completely. And it's just fun to have that interaction and get a chance to chat with all the different people, the vendors, the other attendees. And it's we're trying to add things. I know there's been a lot, I won't say a lot, there's been a handful of haunter people that are suggesting that we add in more haunter related programming.
I saw that in the comments.
Yeah, and I've gotten that personally from people too. Like they want to do make and take for props, like learn how to paint or make a thing. And some of the other classes, I know that they'll have at some of the industry conventions, but I still think that the bulk of our attendees are not necessarily, they're not haunters. They might enjoy horror and haunted attractions, but they don't care about set design. They just want to go somewhere that looks cool, like get scared. So I'm not sure how much we can incorporate, but I think everybody might like some of the make and take kind of classes that we could have. So it might be that we could add in a pipe and drape little panel room in a corner and make that, because it's not carpeted and we can get in there with paint and blood and whatever, not make as much of a mess and worry about the carpeting. But we could actually probably learn, start incorporating some of those things too. I don't know if that'll be this upcoming year or not, but it's kind of there.
love that idea. I love the idea. I give me an excuse to look up horror themed crafts, like fun little crafty like horror, yes, projects. That sounds
Well,
like fun.
it's definitely a way for some of our vendors
Oh yeah,
to get involved and go
that's
teach a
cool.
class, and it's
Different.
I definitely think that we could get some of the artists, get somebody in there and make your own jewelry thing, or make your own little foam tombstone thing with Chris or with Strahan. I mean, he would be down for something, and I'm sure he does really large stuff, but he's got some smaller versions of things that I'm sure there's ways to do it.
I know,
It's just the logistics of it, and layering it in, whether or not it's something we could do. But
I know for me, something that would be cool to find is, especially with haunters there, like we love to decorate for Halloween, right? So like we try to go all out. So, and we try to make our own stuff a lot of times, not just because we don't want to just buy like the cheap stuff. We want to make some really cool stuff, and we don't always know what to do. So it would be kind of cool to like have like little classes like that too. Like how do like some cool ideas for like decorations for outside versus inside or whatever, and what haunters can kind of give us tips on, like this will hold up better outside if you paint it this way or do it this way or that way. That'd be kind of awesome, if they came about it with that way, even if it's vendors who bring that to the table every year. What about filmmaking panels, horror filmmaking panels? You ever think about that? Or
We've done a few.
I know you did the writers panel this year. I didn't
Yeah.
know if, maybe some directors coming in and talking, or cinematographers and such.
we've mostly stuck with storyline. Haven't gotten into the directing or true filmmaking side of it very much. I think we did one year where there was a little bit of equipment discussion, as far as like somebody was going through different camera options or something like that, but I don't remember specifically. We've mostly leaned on the story writing side. So, you've got a great idea. Do you want to turn it into a comic book? You want to turn it into like a graphic novel? Do you want to screenwriting with it? What do you do with that idea? How do you turn it into a true, like, usable form? And then how do you publish, and where do you take it? What do you do with it? And so, that's kind of the angle we've more taken on it. I've always felt like the filmmaking side has so many moving parts to it that it would be tough to make a panel out of that when you've got to talk about the cameras and the video production side and the audio and finding your actors, and it's a lot. But
I will tell you this, just from my perspective, like even like having a panel where you talk about the importance of music in horror films,
That's
and
pretty
like
cool.
just something like that, and like how intense, like you talk about Psycho and the Sting and like things like that, and like just how important that was to look at Jaws. Like you don't even see the shark for the first hour, so the music was the biggest thing that made you afraid. If somebody to talk to that aspect, that would be kind of cool, because how many independent horror films I see now where that you could realize music did not play a part in their editing, and it's just like, yeah, you really you missed the ball on that one. So you bought a 6-foot skeleton from Lowe's. Now what to do with it?
Yeah, there's been several more of independent horror films that I've watched, a handful of them recently, that the music kind of ruined it, or the lack of, like, it was either they went obviously with music that was free, royalty free music, and it really sounded like early 80s porn. And then some random sound effects going off at weird times, like that, like just weird screams and whatever, that it didn't line up for me, and it was almost to the point where it's noticeable. So it is a big component. You don't realize it until it's off, When you're
Yeah.
watching something and it's not right, that's
It's
when
wrong,
you really, really connect with it. But
I think in that vein, a sound Foley class would be really fun.
Mhm.
Like a workshop on what weird things make what gross sounds kind of thing. That would be really
Yeah.
fun. I don't know who would host that. It's just be interesting. I've always thought Foley was an interesting topic to
yeah,
research from
definitely.
my film school days.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So this person's face is getting ripped off, and we made that noise by doing this.
There you go.
We took a
What
peek
made this
through
squish?
it all.
Destiny, you just ruined it for us because there's two people that went to film school here. So guess who's hosting now?
Me?
Me and you.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I volunteer to be the
And you probably
person
went
that
to a
does
real
the
one.
thing.
You went to a real one. You didn't go to one called Full Sail.
No, no. I know people who did. A lot of people that were in my New York Film Academy intensive went to Full Sail.
Oh, New
Um,
York.
I just throw that out there. But no, I volunteer to be the person that makes the weird noises. And we can have everybody close their eyes,
Whoa.
and then I'll just like do some weird thing over here, and they'll have to try to guess what made the sound. And then we play it with video attached to it, and it's like, oh, now it sounds like that. I don't know. We'll work.
So I know
Maybe
another thing we have that we've been talking about is what to do with our Friday night, trying to make that party vibe, make it special and different. Things happening on Friday night that aren't happening the rest of the weekend. So everybody that's there on Friday night are our weekend and VIP people. So because they're going to be there all weekend, they're not in a mad rush to shop and do the celebs and do whatever. So the more fun, whatever, either stage things that we do or other things that we're incorporating in that evening, it doesn't take away from their overall experience like it would if I shut down Saturday afternoon to do something. But so we've been trying to come up with different ideas. I kind of went down I went down a little rabbit hole, and I've decided it won't work. I was going to make Friday night like a blackout night, like they'll do at the haunted attractions on their off nights. Turn off a good number of the lights in the building, and but trying to prep 100 vendors for battery operated extra lighting in their booth and flashlights or LED it became a whole thing, and I realized like I'm exhausted thinking about how to make that work. I couldn't possibly pull it off. So like that idea was like, that would be really cool. No, I was just envisioning the show floor, the entire show floor, like a whole bunch of like
Rave
horror
party.
movie cathedral caverns with like just LED candles everywhere. You know what I mean?
Okay.
In my head, the visual of it is amazing. The vendors are pissed. That's what's happening though. The vendors would not be happy.
When you said cavern, I thought you literally meant like, let's make a bunch of giant paper mache stalagmites and stalactites and put them all over the entire venue. And I was just like, please don't make me do that. That'll take so much time.
It's literally you guys just there.
And our concrete mix stuff
And me screaming from somewhere saying, I'm stuck. Help me. I don't know where I am. Get me out of this paper mache thing before I rip it.
But, so just trying to come up with fun ideas for Friday night. So, if anybody has a great idea, I mean, we are all, always happy to take email suggestions or send us a message on Facebook or whatever.
What do you think about like a classic movie horror watch along or something, like a Rocky Horror Picture Show or like a Friday the 13th rewatch or something, like where everybody can kind of get into it?
Well, we tried it with Rocky Horror. And we would have to actually buy the rights to show it and all of that, which is not impossible, but I wanted to do like a shadow cast or a sing along or something, and I kept finding groups that did it like a year before, 2 years before. And so when I call them and go, but you still have your cast, like call them. They all, I'm sure, remember, like pull them, let's do it. And no, I get offers to help me run auditions, to find my cast, to then rehearse. And no, I was asking you to come do the thing, not help me direct a show within the show. No, can't do it.
All right, I have an idea. How about we cast it from our attendees, and they have to try to remember the lines. They don't actually have the script. They have to just like try to remember what happens when, and it'll just be like the biggest fans of whatever movie we pick. So like your cast is what's her name? Janet. You're Janet and you're the guy, and then I haven't seen that movie in so long. Sorry.
Their cast is
It's
Brad
cast
or
in the
Janet.
moment with no
Right.
script, and you
Like,
have to guess.
we hand them their cast when they come in. Like, you are a cast member now. While the movie's playing, you're up there.
No, the
playing
movie's not playing. There's no movie playing.
Oh,
We
you're not
literally
gonna play
have
the
them
movie.
act it out with no lines and no script, and they have to try to remember as much of the movie as they can. So you
I
have to be a
don't think
real
that's gonna
true
go
fan
well.
of the series to try to remember the lines.
The other thing that we kind of talked about and got rid of because it wasn't going to work the year we talked about it was table reads.
Oh, yeah.
Basically giving everyone script and doing a table read on the fly on the stage. And we could basically have multiple actors in place and have people on the stage kind of in the wings and let them tag team it.
Mhm.
So when they can just jump in but they have to actually do the voices and act and whatever. And they
I
can
feel
tag
like-
somebody out and jump in, and then the audience can vote on who the best was. And there's lots of different fun things that we can do that are a little bit interactive. But
I think if one of the celebrity guests from the franchise was in it, like that's the plan, right? Like we would have one person that, like one of our celebs who's in that movie or that franchise, would be at the table read.
But you'd have to have the music because that's like what's going to get everybody going. Not just singing it themselves, like actually playing the music. That's what's going to get everybody amped up and revved and want to dance along and sing.
for like the Rocky Horror, yeah. I mean, we'd
Yeah,
have to
stuff
have
like that. Yeah.
the soundtrack going for sure.
Well, we were talking about like just the script read and not
Yeah.
like Rocky Horror, but yeah.
Have a themed party like heroes and villains, or do a movie reenactment with VIPs. I like it. Something different.
I really
love
like the
idea.
reenact a movie with no script thing. I think it would be hilarious. It would be so bad, and the audience would just be like shouting out the next lines if they know it. If it had a song, music in it, if it was Rocky Horror and it had music in it, it'd be a lot easier because you're more likely to remember the music than the lines.
Yeah.
Or the
Well, we
lyrics
could
than the lines.
definitely theme the Friday and ask everybody to come in their whatever cosplay for Friday night, along with a specific theme. If we did all vampires or all something else, and at least then we get that big attendee, everybody show up by the stage for a photo, and it's
I just want to dress up like a vampire.
or whatever.
You when I come as David from the Lost Boys with a bleach blonde mullet and everything, and I demand to be a narrator of some sort. Come on, we got to read the Lost Boys. That'd be so much fun. That'd be a good time. Nobody's jumping in on us.
We're just like, okay, sure.
Just me? Okay. Well, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. 2024, I'm so excited for it. And I know you guys are gearing up and you're planning and getting ready. And these are a lot of fun ideas. Before we start kind of winding down and getting out of here, what are some things that maybe you can tell us to look out for in 2024? What should everybody kind of get ready for? I know what I'm going to say. Make sure you're following Carolina Fear Fest on everything, on all social media. And please, please, please go over to the YouTube and subscribe, because we are going to be broadcasting there a lot more. We're going to be doing horror conversations all year round. We're going to be, October is going to be a big month for that, especially because that's like the Scene Snobs anniversary month. So we're talking horror all month long. So we want to incorporate Carolina Fear Fest even more in that. So please go over there, subscribe, because next year we're going to be all on there. So we want to see you guys be a part of it. So how about you guys? What should everybody be looking out for or getting ready for next year?
I have one thing that we absolutely know for certain is that we will be open on a Saturday and on a Sunday. For sure. Guaranteed. That's it. That's all I've got. It's a weekend. Ta-da! Surprise!
Unless you get your VIPs, which you have to do. And then
And
it's
you
all
also-
3 days.
Or a weekend pass, probably. Hopefully.
Yeah, the weekend
Yeah,
pass
okay.
also does Friday night. So yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean,
That's it. Yeah.
we're trying to, like I said, trying to do those programming options. So, when the show floor closes, there's still things to do. We're really trying to make this a destination thing that people actually have plenty of programming options available to them for the whole weekend. So it doesn't just the show floor closes at 6. We'll see you tomorrow. No, you can choose to go to this party or to go to that thing or to stay here and watch a movie or trying to make sure we've got a number of options out there for people.
Yeah.
I would like to do a vampire masquerade theme for the after party this year, just saying. I want a ball gown.
Oh,
It's the only reason. I just want a ball gown.
I'm going to shoot you guys a message after this of the idea I had, and I don't care what year you do it, I'll tell you what. But if it is vampire next year, I'm going all out. I may not be David, but I'm going to be a vampire.
But you promised.
I'll do it. No, I'll do it I'll do it if we do like a vampire reenactment thing. But no, if we're doing masquerade, I'm not going as David from the Lost Boys. I'm going to go masquerade style.
Good. Okay.
I'm going to look cool. I'm going to have the mask and everything.
Yeah, I feel like if we do vampires, you've got to go more Interview with a Vampire. It's
That's
more
exactly what I was
Victorian.
thinking.
It's got to be,
A
The wig
shirt.
and
I want a Buccaneer hat. I want the
Yes.
whole nine. I want
Yes.
a cape.
Yes.
I got to start planning this now. I got to start, I'm a big guy. They don't make these things in my size. I got to start planning this out a year in advance.
Well, the other thing that we're doing a little bit
No.
different this year is that we are going between now and the show. We're going to actually be out at a lot of other conventions. So we're setting ourselves up to have tables and market and talk about our event and all of those things. So if you tend to go to other cons, definitely, check us out. If you know of any that are really big and that Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina is pretty much what we're sticking with, that you would like to, see us try and get a table at, absolutely shoot us a message and we'll see. But we're trying to get more of an in-person presence to market the event. And I think that's going to be, it's going to be important. So many people see the ads that we run and they think that we're a haunted attraction. Like they think, oh, I'm scared. I don't do that. Well, it's not a scary thing in and of itself. So, it's good to get in person and talk to people more. They have a better idea of what we do, what we're trying to do.
I think that now that you guys have a podcast too, this is going to be a big help too. So now that people will be more aware of everything that you guys do, and monthly we'll be doing this, so you guys will be able to kind of play along with it. We'll be talking more horror and such too. So, but yeah, I would love to help out. So if you guys are around, I would love to come to the conventions and help out if you need any.
Being at in-person events like that is also where we just casually let things slip and then realize we didn't announce it yet and it's not official yet. So we just kind of said it a little earlier than we were supposed to. So that's fun.
Yeah, we have to be careful about what we announce in each show, but
because we get excited and we're like, we can't wait to tell people, and then we say it out loud and we're like, darn it.
Well, just tell me. Just send me the message so I know.
Girl, you're always one of the first to know. Stop, you're fine.
I never know the guest lineup until February. We have our meetings in January. And you're like, I'll tell you in February. Okay. We're going to lock them down first. All right. I love it though. It's always exciting. I love this convention. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to recap 2023. We're going to be going into 2024. Keep coming back. Horror Conversations going to be every month. I want to thank you guys for watching, joining in. Please come back all the time, and feel free to join in the comments. So
and I just sent you a private message because it's not confirmed.
All right, I'm keeping my mouth shut. I'm not gonna say it. Yep. So there's Anyway. It threw me off now because I'm trying not to think about that because I'm like, no, now I'm gonna give it up. Now I'm gonna end the show now. Thank you. I'm Nick Manhattan from the Scene Snobs, joined by Stephanie and Destiny from Carolina Fear Fest. This is Horror Conversations. Join us next month. Ladies, you want to say goodbye?
Thank you, guys.
We'll talk to you next time. Take care, everybody.